What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? It is Phil Nagy. It is Kit Nagy. It is Nagy on Sports. Excited to bring this one to you. We've made it to week 12. The Browns, probably as anticipated and as probably will happen in the real season, are right in the thick of it, in the middle of a very, very talented AFC. No teams running away with it right now. The AFC North, in fact, is 3 teams tied at 6-5 here. So must win for the Browns if they want to continue to keep grinding here in this very, very difficult AFC. But excited to bring this one to you again. They are 6-5, hosting the 8-2 San Francisco 49ers with, of course, that man Kyle Shanahan. Kid, how are we doing tonight?
Doing excellent. Always a good day to have some Browns football, and very excited for this one, especially now that we're in coach mode. Hopefully we'll have a little better success than some of the previous games, although that last game in coach mode certainly felt pretty good. But very excited for this one. A very stiff competition coming here into Cleveland Browns Stadium to give the Browns a run for their money here at home, as the 49ers are a very well put together team, very, very well coached, and obviously doing very well here on our sim. So the Browns going to have their hands full, but we'll see if they're up to the task.
Absolutely. Welcome in Richard, welcome in George, Mitchell, and Bo as well. Hey, Fellegren, welcome in. Go Browns indeed. Brock Purdy out onto the football field, leading this 8-2 San Francisco team. And you can see he's been very efficient, 2,300 yards, 19 touchdowns, and just 6 interceptions. We'll see if the Browns can do a couple, do their job to try to take a few away here as well. And for those who asked, I did look. Of course, Madden does not have the new white helmets in there yet, but I did find the helmets with the white face masks. So you have a slightly different helmet for the Browns here tonight. First play of the game is going to be McCaffrey. He'll fight hard for 4 before being banged down to the ground by a bevy of Browns defenders. Of course, the Madden ratings starting to get leaked, quote leaked or released or whatever. Miles, no surprise, tied with Nick Bosa as the best end.
Yeah, no surprise indeed. Go ahead.
Yep, no surprise indeed. I was just to say, heavy pistol looking. Purdy actually keeps it and rushes for 16 yards before Anthony Walker chases him down. Again, that Shanahan offense. Not sure how much of that they'll actually run with Purdy, but they did that time for 16.
Yeah, just really well blocked out there on the perimeter by the wide receivers, really getting their job done.
Play action to McCaffrey. He'll fire over the middle. Deep shot. Froze MJ Emerson. Otherwise, I think if he puts his hand up in the air, he knocks that one down, but Brandon Ayuk on the second level completes it into Browns territory in a big catch.
Yes, indeed.
Mason, he did. I believe you. I missed it in real time, but I believe you. If he was the read and got toasted. Shotgun look here now. Motion coming from Debo. They'll pass it to Debo. He'll try to cut up field, and Anthony Walker knocks him down long enough for JOK to finish him off. They'll actually lose a yard on the play.
Yeah, Ewok didn't finish it, but he got up. The momentum stopped, and that was enough.
McCaffrey now gashing the Browns for 12 to the right side, and a big first down on 2nd and long.
Yeah, these 49ers really sticking to the ground game here early in this ball game. They've had the one pass to Ayuk, but outside of that, a lot of runs and some success as they are driving nicely downfield.
Yes, they are now. Trips to the left side from the Browns' 30-yard line, heading towards the dog pound. McCaffrey again, up play action this time. Purdy fires over the middle, got a little skinny post and a first down. That's Ray McLeod, and he beat Greg Newsome to the spot. First down inside the red zone now.
Yeah, very, very clean execution for the 49ers on this opening drive. They've really got their timing together. They seem to be all on one page and very successful so far.
Hey, John, welcome in. Yep, your Niners having a good opening drive here now. Purdy, big drop. Back to pass. Miles breaks free, but it's too late. Kittle bounces off one tackle, and then Cam Mitchell puts him down. 2nd and 3.
Am I stand corrected? He actually had one pass before the Ayuk. I missed it. Must have been looking away.
To the right side, McCaffrey. I think Ward hits him, but he pushes him over the line now. 1st and goal from the 2 here for the Niners. Very efficient opening drive here of this Week 12 matchup. McCaffrey, I don't think he got it. He didn't. Taki sticks his nose in there at the 1-inch line. Eli Mitchell checks into the game. They'll spread him out. We're going to get a flag, too, as well, as Ayuk catches a touchdown pass. But let's see what the flag is.
It was early. Whatever the flag was, it was very early.
Yeah, Browns were offsides.
Yep.
Interesting, even though he's pointing the wrong way.
I was wondering if maybe that's what it was, only for the fact that they let the play continue, but the flag was almost right at snap, which makes you think he was possibly offsides, which is what they call.
Sure was. We don't see that one a lot. JOK apparently lined up offsides. Didn't matter. Ayuk into the end zone, and much like we've seen with plenty of our sims so far this season, the opposing team has a really nice opening drive. 10 plays, 80 yards. It's going to end with a touchdown. Took just a tick over 5 minutes to do so.
Yep.
So we'll see how the Browns respond here. Again, as Kit briefly mentioned, we are now in our second week of coach mode, which has a couple of benefits. It also has some drawbacks, most notably completely clipping Deshaun Watson's wings. So he will not run, he will not move, he will just stand in the pocket and either come throw the pass or get sacked.
Or unless we call a designed run for the quarterback, which
that's
is
right,
possible.
unless we call a QB draw, which we have done. We did. He had a touchdown run last week,
That's
actually.
right.
But as we saw even as recently as our earlier game of the week today, as soon as Trevor Lawrence spun out and threw it, it was pretty much a guaranteed interception.
Yep.
Here comes Chubb. First play of the game, and Greenlaw is there to meet him. Fred Warner's there to meet him, and Chubb will actually lose 2. They were ready for that one, I think.
Yeah, this is a very good run defense, and especially along that defensive line. Guys willing to fill gaps and play assignment football. That's how you stop the run.
2nd and 12 now. Watson out of a shotgun. He'll send Chubb in motion. He's empty now. Back to pass. Waiting. Now he'll fire left side. Caught on the sideline to Elijah Moore. But just a short gain of about 3 is what they are able to muster. Sets up a 3rd and 8 now. From the 9-minute mark, Browns need 8. Watson's shotgun snap. Back to pass. Firing. Dumps it off short to Chubb, and he takes a long time to turn around, and they'll be 3 yards short.
Yeah, from the 32, probably going to punt here, unfortunately.
Even I don't have the stones to go for this one. If I felt really good about any play getting 3 yards, I think I would. So, Bojorquez punts it away. John, I have no idea. To be honest with you, I really don't know.
Yeah, our supposition is that it's waiting for you to actively throw the pass, because it still comes up with the symbols like you can, target a receiver.
Right.
So it's waiting for you to select a target downfield to throw it. But
it's advertised as if you touch no buttons after the snap, then it takes over, but it never actually moves or scrambles.
Right. And I think the concern is that if he's moving, then it gets wonky, or maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But
yeah, like if it starts moving and then I'm like, no, I wanted to take over. I was just waiting. It's a very interesting set. It's like a global setting that you turn on, like not even in your franchise, like your overlord settings for the whole game. And yeah, there's been times certainly where like I've been playing, and if you got sort of get lazy back there and forget to move, like he'll just throw it. And you're like, whoa, I didn't know. I wasn't ready to throw it. Those kinds of things. It's Brock Purdy. How about this? Another 15-plus yard scramble on the option keeper. I can't imagine that burns the Browns too many more times. They're usually pretty good at adjusting.
Yeah, they certainly are, and that's not, especially with the Schwartz defense, expect that discipline. A nice break up there. Wow, I thought that was completed, but nice effort to break that one up. But no, we expect Schwartz to bring some discipline to the defense, which is going to prevent stuff like that.
Yeah, John, interesting is one way of putting it. I think it's broken. It didn't used to do that, but this version of it is definitely super broken. And again, just par for the course here with our frustrated with Madden's QB mechanics in general as Deebo Samuel picks up a first down. 49ers firing on all cylinders here to start the game.
Well, really, it was taking the lesser of two evils with the idea that we gain all the clock management, all the situational football, and some of the
not attempting 65-yard field goals
right,
in the middle of the game.
Yeah, and then also a little bit more of the probable balance we should expect of run and pass.
Option keeper again. Purdy's got another big hole, maybe some holding. Thornhill comes up to make the tackle, but he gets another 9 yards on the gain and a big 3rd and 1 coming up for the Browns defense, who's basically been on the entirety of the first quarter. You already see Maurice Hurst in there now. Some stamina subs happening.
I don't know what their receivers are rated for blocking, but they have been stellar so far in blocking out there on the perimeter, and a bit surprisingly so, because these defenders are not terrible at shedding blocks out on the perimeter, so especially wide receivers without the big frame. So kind of surprising that we've seen blocks held that long, that consistently.
Broken tackle, McCaffrey left side, throws another man off. Thornhill just got chucked. 5 yards. McCaffrey having a very nice first quarter. Yep, John, so that's what took us back there again. It was sort of like Kit said, it was the lesser of two evils, and the mistakes that were happening with the maddening, with like Watson just rolling out and throwing in interceptions when there wasn't even a Brown on the screen, and the let's try a 60-yard field goal as Deebo Samuel breaks tackles now inside the 5, and the Browns, what is going on here with the defense?
Pretty poor discipline, especially tackling discipline. They're really not framing guys up, getting the form tackles in. They're kind of just letting, arm tackling and letting guys bounce off of them. Really poor technique all around on defense here, as they're going to give an easy rush almost for touchdown. If Brock Purdy sticks his foot in the ground, it actually takes off. He had that easy. He would have walked in.
2nd and goal now from the 1. McCaffrey easily into the end zone. And so, all right, you got punched in the mouth a couple times here, Browns. Time to respond. Their defense has been pretty good. So, yeah, Felligren's right. The spin interception was just absolutely brutal. And again, it happened, I don't know, at least 5 or 6 times where just for completely unrealistic and random reasons, they'd be like, what sounds good here? A 66-yard field goal attempt.
Right.
And which, of course, Cade York
5
would
minutes
miss.
on the clock.
And then, and then they would flip it and give tons of momentum and great field position to the opposite team. Like, it was just ridiculous. So
we would,
let football welcome in.
We would see games where we were ahead 14+ points get flipped on its head because of that singular play. That would happen. Yep. Invariably, the defense would score, build momentum, or not the defense, but the offense would turn around on the short field and score, build the momentum, and then defense would step up, offense would score another touchdown, they're in the game, and then they end up winning it. It's just like, this is dumb.
Yeah, it was very dumb for sure. Browns complete for 5 yards. Go a little hurry up here. Watson now back to pass once again on a 2nd and 5. He'll dump it to Chubb on the right side, and Chubb's going to get pushed out of bounds by Odom. Actually lose 3 yards in the process. So here we are again at a 3rd and long already. Welcome in, Hey Root. Appreciate you being on, or He Rut. And maybe that's how the algorithm works. I would love to know how the algorithm works personally. Moore across the middle, and he fights hard to get the first down.
Yeah, critical effort here from Moore. Don't like the depth of the route, but the effort after the catch, super critical, especially fighting through the contact to make sure he got across the line. Well done by Elijah Moore.
Absolutely. Here's Nick Chubb again now. Right side, he'll hit Alec Armstead, and Greenlaw again picks up 2. That gets him back to net 0 for the game, just again on his 2 carries.
Yeah, this is a D-line you really have to wear down, and obviously they're playing tough early in this game.
Absolutely. Welcome in, Maximus. Go Browns. Right side, caught by Moore near the first down again. And they'll give it to him, but we won't get the next play until the other side of the quarter. So all 49ers in this first one. The Browns at least up near midfield here. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy on Sports joining you again. Appreciate everybody being on with us here for Browns and 49ers. It's week 12. All of the rosters have been updated. All of the rookies, all the free agents. Here's Nick Chubb up the middle. Breaking tackle says, hey, Hargrave, you should have signed with us, but you didn't, and now I got a first down.
What a run from Nick Chubb. That's what you've been looking for here in this game. Just finding those little creases. He manages to do it right there, well blocked up front. And just that little bit of a crease can create some damage, and that might be enough to get some rushing lanes going.
Absolutely. Nick Bosa breaks free, and he feels it and dumps it off nicely. Luckily for us, for a short throw to Nick Chubb, who's been a good dump-off option here. pistol look here now for the Browns. Now Watson gives it, rather play action, and now he'll throw it short to Njoku, who can't turn up the field quite in time, I'm afraid.
Yeah, barely stepped out. I thought for a minute he was going to make it the tightrope action up the sideline, but not quite able to control it.
Watson waiting. Chubb does his best with Bosa, and Watson's just got to get rid of it.
Yep,
that may push us out of field goal range too.
Yep, that's the old standstill sack that we see here in coach mode. See him think about something, and he's just going to stand there and take the sack. And even though Chubb did a really nice job picking that up, that's Nick Bosa out there. I mean, that's not an easy pickup, but he came all the way across the formation to pick that up. Nice, sound, pass protection there from the running back position, which is not terribly easy to do, I'll tell you. But reading his keys and responding nicely what a beautiful punt. Did he get it in? He did, to the one. Let's go. What a punt. Great coverage.
Dropped it on there.
Yeah, great coverage too to get it down. Now I don't know, technically they've got to keep the ball out of the end zone, right? In that process, even though he touches it out, I think he has to technically keep it out also.
Maybe that's a thing that they don't have there. Well, we're a couple of first-round picks away from what they have. They've certainly invested in it more, Mason. They're going to go to McCaffrey, and they're going to get him for the safety. Dalvin Tomlinson, I'm nobody's sloppy seconds. You got Hargrave, they got me. We got 2 points.
And look at what a difference that field position game makes right there. Madden goes for a stupid long field goal. We go for the pooch punt. Ends up on the one. Ends with the safety. Momentum swing time as the Browns are going to get the ball right back with an opportunity to go downfield, potentially score again, and make this definitely a game that they're very much in.
Yeah. Well, and if you see, again, for those of you who are paying attention to the plays that it's offering or asking me to do,
it said you should go for a field goal.
It said go for a 63-yard field goal. That was the first choice.
Literally first choice, which is why you bring up. That's why I was bringing that comment up, is because it's literally saying go for this field goal, which we're like, no, so you're stupid.
John,
absolutely not.
Well, you as a 49er fan would, because you get great field position and some momentum. So you have no opinion on the matter.
That's right. But to be fair, no football fan worth their salt is going to expect them to kick a field goal there. That's terrible football, situational football.
Sure, Chubb fights hard, and I think they're going to give it to him. They are, and I don't want them to measure, so I'm going quickly.
Hey, we know what the play is now.
Yeah, another advantage of coach mode. Sorry, my bad. I bumped the wrong button. Elijah Moore on a quick slant across the middle.
Advantage viewership. That's the one and only time you're going to get a preview of the play before.
That's right.
While watching football.
Just an accidental bump button here. I don't know if he had the ball across. Similarly, I think they didn't think so either. Now 3rd and 1 here for the Browns. But
wouldn't it be cool?
We're not going to overthink it.
Wouldn't it be cool though if you had some football? I know they've tried to do something kind of similar to this with the fan vote for play call in some of these leagues. But wouldn't it be cool if the game itself was called through the production crew so that they could actually pull up graphics of what the play is going to be before the play actually goes, so you can see what they're supposed to do? That'd be pretty neat.
That would be pretty cool. Fired, tripped, the receiver fell down, and it's going to be picked off. No!
Oh, just unfortunate break for the Browns here.
Oh.
Really, I think everything on that play was working the right way, just unfortunately lost his footing right at the wrong moment. Ball ended up tipped to the defender right in his lap. I mean, there's no way he's not coming away with that pick. Just an unfortunate break for the Browns on that one.
It was. Ugh. Brutal. All right. Cooper fell down and went right into the hands of Ambry Thomas. Okay. Come on, D. Feed off the energy you created. Now, spin and he'll throw it right back. That's exactly what we're trying to avoid.
Yep.
The spin pick, and JOK gets it right back for the Browns.
Yeah, spin pick, and notice who was in the area. Nobody but Browns. Look at where he's throwing this. Where's the receiver? Where is the receiver? He's not even in the picture. I don't know who he's throwing that to. Nobody knows who he's throwing that to, and that's what we couldn't stand about what the Browns kept doing, because that was happening to the Browns, it felt like almost every drive.
100%. 100%. All right, they need some points here now. 14 to 2. Now blitz coming. Chubb picks it up. Watson, and it's tipped. Are we going to get roughing, though? We are going to get rough. I thought once it's tipped, they can't rough. But I'm going to take it.
Yeah, no doubt, Harut.
Madden.
No doubt. Absolutely agree. We've been griping on the channel. I mean, if you've been around for any kind of time, you know we've got a lot of bones to pick.
We do have plenty of bones to pick, as there's a quick throw to Njoku on the right side, and he'll pick up a nice gain of about 5 just to try to stay on rhythm, keep the chains in sight.
And yes, John, that's it. That's what you just saw is exactly what we have such a hard time with. Now, unfortunately, we're only able to run coach mode for one team. We can't put it on both teams. And not that we would feel terribly comfortable with putting it on any of the other teams, only for the fact that to really do an adequate job of coach mode, you really have to know the team and how they like to run their offense. And, you know, you have to know it kind of the ins and outs of it, forward and backwards. And if you don't, it's like, you know, that was the whole idea of just kind of bring in the reality as best we can. Not that we're always able to do it with the limitations we get from Madden, but we do try to bring it as realistic as we can. And going into coach mode for other teams, not only is it then we're picking a team, like if we're doing a spotlight, now we're picking one to have coach mode, the other one doesn't. So because we started as a Browns channel and have predominantly Browns fans, and for the fact that we know the Browns really well, that's why we've elected to move into coach mode, specifically for the Browns.
Specifically for the Browns. 14-5, a little scoregami early here. 8:13 on the clock here. Juszczyk and a strong eye to the left. They'll go the opposite way with McCaffrey, and the Browns are there right at the line. Again, that safety really seemed to jolt some life into them. They got the safety, and then a drive later got the pick. Let's see if we can turn something around again. Another quick slant over the middle to Debo. And Grant Delpit knocks him down, so that's up a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, one more response series here for the defense would be quite a difference here in this game.
On the sideline, but I think he's going to put him out short. He is, and they will punt Wisnowski into the game to punt it away.
And that's just what you're looking for. Yeah, it's not a turnover, nor is it you know, something quite as splashy as what you've had on the last few drives, neither the pick nor the safety. But certainly a win for the defense. A short timeout on the field, so the exposure level is down, not to mention giving the ball right back to your offense with an opportunity to go in and score and make this a much tighter game.
Absolutely, yep. Well, now you have, John, if you want to go back and watch some of the Browns games in the middle of the season, that was awful.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Gross.
Chief picks up 8 across the middle, sets up a 2nd and 2 here. Yeah, the spin sacks were the spin picks were just crippling, and then, like you said, like Kit has mentioned, those ridiculously long field goal attempts that just absolutely had no business happening were just absolute game wreckers.
They were. Well, if you want, there was a game. Do you remember which game that was? Was that the Steelers, maybe? That
there was like 2 in a row. Maybe it was like Steelers
or Bengals, maybe. Through
like six. Yeah, he had like 5 or 6 in the game. Yeah. It was pretty rough. 1st and 10 now for Watson at the 45-yard line. Nobody bites on the hard count. Back to pass now. He'll just stand there and throw out of the pocket. And broken tackle Chubb down the left sideline to the 38-yard line, where he's pushed out by Tashawn Gibson, the former Brown. Almost got that left hand in there, did Nick Bosa.
Yes, he sure did. But this, of course, back to that same conversation. This, of course, coming off the season in which we had the fumbles going like crazy. So first the fumble season, and then the spin pick season, which has just been, you know, it's been a little rough with the turnovers.
I'm not sure what they were reviewing. Maybe they thought he stepped out mid-run. Not that I'm not sure I would know where he stepped out originally. I think it's a 1st down regard. Nope, still at the 38, and they lose the timeout. So whatever happened, they lost the challenge. Interesting choice there for Shanahan. Sets up a 1st down at the 38-yard line now. Give it to Chubb, left side, inside zone look, and he'll run into Fred Warner, and that's where he'll go down, give him 4 more yards for Nicholas Jamal Chubb. 2nd and 6 here, just being mindful of that clock as well. Now shotgun for Watson, back to pass once again. Fires over the middle, caught by Elijah Moore. And it brings up a 3rd and 2 for the Browns.
A nice concentration catch there from Elijah Moore, able to catch it in traffic. As we get another preview of the play.
No, I pushed the wrong button and I was actually audibling, so.
Oh, or that.
But yes, you did get a preview what the first play was supposed to be.
Right.
Like that. Like I did it to the wrong side, so I just have to flip the play here. First and 10 now. They're at the 25-yard line. Plenty of time. You can still run full playbook here, Browns. Little jerk route to the left side to Chubb is the one he chooses, and they'll pick up a few yards. Stay on rhythm here. 5 catches already in this first half for Nick Chubb.
Yeah, he's been pretty busy.
Kind of an outlet look there for the Browns and Deshaun Watson. Chubb gets around Warner, but gets stuck on the back of Jed Wills. Oh,
really awkward physics going on in that play. That did not look right at all.
Unlucky there for sure. That did not look right. And now a 3rd and 6 for the Browns here. 2:35. Would really like to put one in the end zone and not have to settle for another field goal. Watson now back to pass. 3rd and 6. Conklin fighting hard with Bosa. Watson end zone. Touchdown is the Chief. David Njoku. And he's going to slam it. And the Browns get into the end zone.
What a strike downfield. He had all kinds of times. Credit the O-line. Great blocking up front. A little bit of a hold there on the outside. Luckily not called. Because as Conklin kind of had to let that one go to the inside. But fortunate for the Browns, nothing, no laundry on the field, and just all kinds of time for Watson with a beautiful strike downfield as the Chief does the rest in the end zone. What a play, and what a response to get themselves right back into this one.
Yep, you called it, Mason. A little bit intermediate, set him up for the deep one. Get him into the end zone. Momentum finally back to the middle here, and welcome in, Wendell. Good to have you on. Can appreciate everybody being on. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy. Nagy on Sports, only place on the YouTube that you can get full-length, full Madden Sims with live original commentary. We have all the updated rosters, free agency, and rookies. Even the numbers as best I can, since I cannot use the number 0 currently. Across the middle and almost picked by Denzel again, and now the defense seems to be a little frothy.
Yeah, a bit of a risky throw there for Purdy, kind of trusting to Ayuk to come up with a catch, but a little on the inside, dangerous to the defender's side of the ball.
Play action, look, and they're going to say somehow that that's an incomplete pass and not a fumble.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but did look like maybe he had a hand going forward, but it was very, very close.
Throw it to the right side, Debo, and he'll break the tackle, and I think he'll fight really hard for a first down. He does. Oh. Yeah. Newsom had him stopped.
Yeah, I mean, again, the poor technique on tackling has been a bit of a byline here for this game. Unfortunately, has cost the Browns defense here a number of times. That a big example of it. But credit Deebo Samuel with a very physical effort.
1st and 10 now. Purdy, we've reached the 2-minute warning. Another catch over the middle for Deebo. This time the Browns do make the tackle, and he's short of the line, 2nd and inches. It did. I mean, my question always is it grounding then? Was he outside the tackle box? Was there,
right.
Clearly it didn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
No.
But I don't think Madden's sophisticated enough for that now. $1.33 here, 3rd and inches. Fired over the middle, wide open in space is Ray McLeod, and again, another broken tackle, this time Owusu Koramoah.
Yes, wearing him like a communion suit, exactly, Mason.
That's right, he was. Will be one of our first T-shirts.
That's right. It better be. That would make some great T-shirt fodder there.
Mm-hmm. There's a short throw to the right side. Remember, they lost a timeout on the challenge, so they go ahead and call timeout, but it's timeout number 2 here, and they are still not quite in Zane Gonzalez range just yet. John, maybe you can clear it up. We got Zane Gonzalez and Jake Moody on the roster. Who's going to be the kicker? Left side, up in the air, and Debo brought it down and then broke tackles. Burst down inside the 10, or sorry, they'll say the 11. Debo Samuel, electric as usual.
Yeah, what a game for Debo. He has been all over the field making physical plays left and right, snatching the ball out of the air on that example and just refusing to go down. He has been such a big part. Look at him high point the ball, fight through a tackler, continue downfield. Somehow the Browns got him down before he got in, but my goodness, Debo Samuel's picking this team up on his back right now.
MJ Emerson and Juan Thornhill kind of both jumping for the ball, and somehow he's the one who comes up with it across the middle again to to Kittle. Just too many superstars on this offense. They're going to call their final timeout here with 16 seconds. Let's see if Kyle takes a shot to the end zone before he kicks it. All right, this is desperation time. Madden does a pretty poor job at this, so maybe the Browns can benefit. It's got to be in the end zone. Anything tackled in the field of play is knocked away. I suppose you could have an incomplete pass.
Juan Thornhill
down in the end zone.
Juan Thornhill really heads up play there. Somehow able to track the ball behind him and get his hand up and knock it down.
3rd and 8. They're going to run another play. Browns blitzing. Purdy right side. Back of the end zone. Knocked away by the Browns. And they'll force him to a field goal.
Wow, what a turn of events that was. Very physical set of downs there. Somehow the defense coming out on the better end of some of those pass breakups, forcing the field goal, which is the best outcome from that position on the field other than a turnover. And certainly the outcome you were looking for, which, holding them to just the 3 points and keeping this a 5-point game going into half.
Absolutely. Should we run a Hail Mary? It's not even giving me an option. I don't want to go look for it. Browns will get the ball in the second half. Watson will go ahead and take the sneeze. 17-12 here. Been an interesting game. Some ups and downs. First quarter was very much San Francisco. Second quarter was very much Cleveland. And now we've got the third quarter on deck here again. It is week 12 of our official 2023 season sim. Oh, I forgot we get to... sure. I lost my train of thought. We appreciate you being on. Something along those lines. Yes, so definitely, Bo, because of those crippling 3 Trevor Lawrence turnovers in about 5 minutes of play, and that was like, boop, just kidding, 25-point lead, ball game. Yep,
and fortunately for us, only one example of the terrible spin and pick in this one so far.
Correct.
Because we don't like seeing it even for our opponents.
We don't want to see it for anybody.
We don't want to see it at all. I mean, I'd rather it not happen at all.
Absolutely.
In the games.
If we could figure out a way to legislate it out totally, I would, but wasn't going to screw up my team. Donovan Peoples-Jones, I think it's the first time he's touched the ball all day. You're getting a 4 across the middle. Watson now 16 of 19 to start the game. Again, does have the interception when Amari Cooper fell down, and then the ball went right to where Amari Cooper was supposed to be and into the hands of a receiver.
And see, that's not a pick I'm upset about, because that's a pick that's real football play. I mean, that happens. A player falls down, the ball is right on target, but then can't quite get to it because he's stumbling and falling at the time when the ball is arriving. He just gets a fingertip to it, tips it right into the defender's hands, pick the other way.
Absolutely. Motion coming here from Elijah Moore. Watson takes the snap, gives it to Chubb. Chubb will try the middle, and just not much there, and it wants me to hit the X button, which I cannot do. I don't do anything after it's snapped. You can watch plenty of people play video games on the internet. This is not one of those channels.
Nope.
Quick throw, and Chubb's going to be met, or the Chief's going to be met quickly, and actually I think we'll lose a yard in the process.
Yeah, he sure did.
Brings up a 3rd and 9 here. Again, first drive of the half. Browns need some success here. Big blitz coming. Watson feels it, throws it. Caught by Cooper. First down into Niner territory to the 36-yard line. Amari Cooper.
And what poise to be able to throw that strike through a sack. He was literally getting hit, falling down in the process, unleashes a corker downfield, and a beautiful ball right to Cooper on target. Couldn't ask for anything better than that. That was an A-plus play right there.
Absolutely, it was. Just 2 yards there. Chubb tried to go hurry up, catch him off guard a little bit. Turn around, Chubb out of the pistol this time, and Javon Kinlaw, who's still on the roster. Surprised that he's still on the roster, of course. Likely now the 3rd defensive tackle on the roster, of course, with Hargrave and Armstead, or maybe they're working to move Armstead more outside, as Moore's going to pick up a short gain, but it's enough for a first down. Move the chains. have to wait and see what that 49er defense actually looks like.
I have to think they got better. I mean, Hargrave on that D line that was already stacked. I mean, look out! It's gonna be nasty.
I would be inclined to agree with you, John. That's actually a great question. I do not make the decision. It immediately goes off of as he fires to the end zone, and a big hit by Hufanga knocks it out of the hands.
Yeah, he had it too.
Amari Cooper.
Even with the defenders right on him, able to get it right to the hands of his receiver, but could not quite come up with that catch.
3rd and 9. Watson left side. Oh, jump the route. It's picked. Watch out. Can Watson chase him? Left side, right side down the sideline. I don't think he's going to, and into the end zone for a pick six. Isaiah Oliver. Dagger for the Browns.
Rough. Yep, absolutely. And look at the mechanics on that one. That one was absolutely across his body. I think he saw something without realizing the defender's position, and he was like, oh, I can take this right now, but not in a position to make a good throw. Gets a little bit lazy on his mechanics there, throws across his body, and it sets up for an easy pick six going the wrong way.
And it sets up for sort of an odd double dip for the 49ers, who kicked that field goal right at the end of the half, and they double up this lead now, 24-12. Welcome in, Rick. We appreciate that feedback. You are very welcome. We enjoy doing it. 2 steps forward and 3 steps back is kind of what it feels like.
It does.
1st and 10 here for Watson. He's got to shake it off. The other part about it is the in-game nerfing that happens. So sometimes one pick turns into 2, turns into 3, turns into 5. He's going to throw this one, fortunately, out of bounds, out of the sack.
Yeah, throw out a sack is a thing that, rarely do you want to see that. I mean, he managed to get one to work for him earlier in the game, but still, those are scary.
I would agree. He'll fire it over the middle. Oh, picked again. Greenlaw just sitting there waiting. And oh boy,
indeed. You mentioned it already. That whole in-game nerf as the momentum meter takes that heavy swing, and here we go. He's got the yips, as you'd say, and it's pretty clear that that he's having to fight those down, and it's not going well right now. He just has thrown a second bad pick.
Yep, sure has. At least there's receivers in the side. I guess it's more realistic than the spin picks.
No, I mean, I'd rather a momentum swing, because you do see that from time to time. Now, do I expect that from Watson? No, but on the other hand, all
quarterbacks
not have
3 picks all year.
Yeah, all quarterbacks are somewhat susceptible to that. It's hard to put that stuff behind you and to just move on. That mentality is that's a really hard thing to have and to do, but on the other hand, do I expect to see that very much? No.
No, into the end zone for Kittle, and that's a touchdown. Points off the turnover as well. And now the Browns are in trouble here, as 17 quick unanswered points for the 49ers, kind of blowing a hole right in this one.
Yep, sure is. And unfortunately, this kind of starts to set the script, if you will, for what the offense is going to have to do to get back in this one with the time remaining. And it's not that you have to abandon the run entirely, but you still have to start thinking about a little bit on that explosive play count. You got some limited opportunities here, and now you're going to have to start to press a little bit, which opens up the opportunities for more mistakes. You got to find a way to do this consistently somehow, because the points are going to have to happen relatively quickly, and you need chunks.
Indeed we are. Yeah, I mean, and it could just be as simple as that, Mason, which is until they prove otherwise. Madden continues to say, regardless of what your ratings and your players look like, you're a 500 football team until we see otherwise.
Right.
Again, I'm not necessarily that much of a conspiracy theorist that I think that they've intentionally nerfed Watson for off-field reasons, but maybe they have. Who knows?
Well, there have been a number of players with off-field. I mean, it wasn't even a conspiracy theory. I mean, Myles Garrett technically was on the field, but still, Myles Garrett quite literally lost an X factor out of the whole the helmet thing, which with Mason Rudolph, but that literally cost him an X Factor off of that out of Madden. He was an X Factor going in and was no longer after, and that clearly affected his rating. Now, clearly we know what Madden thinks of Myles Garrett is he is now a 99 for the second year in a row, which is not that surprising knowing it's Myles Garrett, but the nerf for things that have happened is a very real thing, so to suspect that has happened to Watson for the stuff off field is not really outside of the realm of unreasonable at all.
Yep. I think so, John. I think it's a mockery of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think most of the opposing players do that celebration in Cleveland.
Yep.
We have seen that before. That is Cleveland Farrell, former first-round pick of the Raiders.
That's right. When
they had an NFL Network guru as their GM.
Yeah, Mike
Turned out it wasn't as difficult, or wasn't as quite as easy as playing one on TV.
All right.
Sorry, John, to answer your question, no. After the touchdown or whatever is, I can choose to perform a field goal, but as soon as a touchdown happens, it takes the control back out of my hands, so it runs all the special teams things. So it would choose to either go for two on its own, which I think would just do it on its own. I'm not sure, to be honest. But I don't choose extra point, and I don't kick the extra points. It does that part automatically.
Right.
But maybe our 1 week success with coach mode should just go in the trash, and we should get rid of it. I don't know. Debo takes a sweep. Siaki Ika waiting in the backfield. Well, it started out as a good game. This was 17-12, a mere 12 minutes of football ago, and it has been some domination here / maddening by the 49ers. How about that little cut from McCaffrey, and he'll pick up a calm 15 yards for a first down.
Yeah, sweet little delay there, just to hold short, let the defender run past, and then continue. It was well executed by McCaffrey. We know he's slippery, and that's effectively true to form. That's very much his style.
31-12 here. Browns really need a turnover if at all possible. Here's another dump off to McCaffrey. Purdy has thrown one to JOK. And spinning off, and again Debo shedding tacklers. Browns have just had a problem with their tackling today. That's how the game certainly started now. Here's McGup, just kidding, option keeper for Purdy, and he'll dive in for a little insult to injury.
Yeah, that play has been far too effective. I don't know what the Browns defense is cueing there, but clearly they're letting Purdy have his way in the run game, and you'd think they'd have made that adjustment by now, but clearly not, as he gets in really pretty uncontested on that one. He really didn't need to dive.
24 unanswered points now for the 49ers. Actually, it was 14-12. Sorry, before they kicked that field goal at the end of the half. 14-12. Yes, we have long complained about the disrespect for Nick Chubb as well. Indeed. Add it to the list. Yep. Add it to the list. Maybe we're all just a bunch of homers and we expect our team to be better, but
I'm sure there's some amount of that going on, but it is what it is. You're not going to take the Browns fan out of the Browns fan. I mean, it's just how it is.
Very fair.
But that being said, there's a lot of things that we complain about regardless of even if the Browns are in the game. It's stuff that we just don't like seeing in the game because it's not realistic to football.
Yep. I agree. Here's a quick throw to the right side in the Njoku, and they'll pick up a first down. First to 10 for Watson. And he's going to chuck it deep to the right side. DPJ, and knocked out of his hands.
That's a play I expect
by the defender.
I expect DPJ to come down with that. That's kind of his ball game. He's so good at those physical catches, especially at the high point like that. In a play that I would expect him to make.
We'll go across the middle of the Chief, and the Chief picks up a first down, and we'll try to go fast.
Well, they're going to have to figure something out. That's for sure.
Yep. Watson now in a shotgun once again. Back to pass. Throws it to the right side on the corner, and they'll say he got it. And out of bounds with 5 seconds left. Just kidding, not out of bounds. That's the end of the quarter.
How was he not out of bounds? He literally ended up on the bench.
I do not know.
That is interesting. Although, actually, is that...
Maybe that's just not a clock stop
yeah,
option.
It's the clock. Yeah, the clock rules are... There are some interesting rules for when the clock stops. When it's like you have to be like within a certain point in the game before some of those clock stop rules come into play.
Tipped up in the air and picked because of course.
And then the wide receiver runs right past him, and then Watson misses. So pick six.
And that's Oliver. Second pick six today for Isaiah Oliver. And yes, Madden decided early, I guess, that this one had to go the way of the boys in the gold and red. Coming on the road and just absolutely laying the wood now. 4 picks for the Browns. Of course, that one is just the old tip drill, which gets dropped about 77% of the time.
Well, I mean,
when it happens to us.
We can give all kinds of examples of, in recent years, this has been kind of the Browns' experience coming into games that you would think they'd be more tightly contested, or at least they're going to put up a fight and they get absolutely blown out. This has happened to teams that you would think would be better than they played out there on the field. I mean, the Titans in 2019 comes to mind. The
Patriots.
The Patriots last year. Talk about the Ravens to open up the season in 22. I mean, so there's all kinds of examples of games that have gone completely off the rails. Which, so from that perspective, now do I expect this many picks to be part of it? Probably not. But
no.
But there have been a lot of examples of the Browns kind of coming off apart at the seams, even with very talented, good rosters. That you'd think they should be playing better than they are, and we've seen these kind of blowouts. So I can't begrudge Madden saying that this kind of thing could happen to the Browns because we've seen it now. Do I hope to see any of this season? No, I don't want to see a game like this at all, and I hope we don't see a game like this. I hope we have better discipline and play better football than this. But
sure.
But it's been a thing that has plagued the Browns in season past, even when we were past the all right, we're not even winning games in the seasons.
Very true. Sorry, Bo. Yep, I think you're exactly right, and I think that, I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see how much of that are they going to be willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, or are they going to make, is he going to come out of the box at an 81 and then make him prove it, kind of a thing.
I have no idea, John. You're going to have to tell me. I'm assuming you're setting up a joke, but I'm not sure what the joke is on this one.
First catch of the season, I think, for Jakeem Grant. That's how gassed everybody is since I've been running no huddle this entire drive. We've got some Jakeem Grant sightings here. Boggy Mountain Breakdown. There you go. It's classic.
Very nice. Well done, sir.
2nd and 10. Bosa hit him hard. No flag. And Ward knocks it out of the hands of the receiver. 3rd and 10 now for the Browns.
Nah, sorry, Bo, against our ethos here. That's just not what we do.
Nope. And/or you have way too much faith in we have it set to it's on all Madden.
Right. I
don't think it would be a gimme that I would just come in and start owning the game.
The fact that he kicks the field goals and the punts as well as he does in the all Madden is enough for me to be impressed at. I don't need to test his skills on the all Madden play. It's like that's tough. That's tough.
The Browns drive Ward out there at the 20-yard line. Give it back to 49ers. Appreciate everybody being on. Sorry, this was certainly not what either of us had dreamt up when we had been frothing about this one for the last couple of days. Another opportunity. Again, the coach mode against the Broncos was very successful, very in rhythm. Watson was very good.
Yep, but that also was a 3-7
was very
team.
good. That was a 3-7
team. This is an 8-2 team, so
they are Super Bowl or bust for sure, and they are absolutely legit. And the Browns are going to have to lick some wounds here.
Yep.
At 6-6, still right there in the middle of the AFC. Started with some broken tackles, I think, early from the defense. The inability to stop that. The inability to stop that. God, what is the word I'm looking for? The option. Purdy's options. They couldn't stop that either. And
nope, sure couldn't.
A quick 14-0 lead. Browns got the safety. 14-2, 14-5, 14-12, and then it's just been all 49ers since then. Second man through is Debo, and JOK knew that play was coming. We've seen that one a couple of times. Give it to the second man through, and JOK blew it up.
Yeah, like shot out of a cannon, and that's true to form. JOK very much is capable of that kind of a play. He is so explosive.
And they'll run the exact same play the other direction, and the Browns there for another 2-yard loss. And that will force a punt to give the football back to the Browns here with about 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. We do appreciate everybody being on. Thank you so much to all of our subscribers. You guys truly are the best. The straw that continues to stir the drink for us here.
He's talking
week 12, so we still got plenty of time to go in the game, or the season.
Wendell, he's talking about us beating the Broncos. Wilson, the quarterback for the Broncos.
Did I mention Wilson? Somebody else?
No.
Wilson?
In the chat, Wendell's wondering who Wilson was in John's comment, talking about taking care of business against Wilson, and
gotcha.
And that was he was referencing the Broncos win last week.
Too much time there, and Watson will take the sack. Which again will only be exacerbated. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna freaking run up that pocket.
Look how
I broke my own. I broke my own rule. Yeah, it was so open. I broke my own rule.
Ridiculously wide open. And
Third
you know
and 11
Watson.
here.
You know Watson is gonna do that. You know he's gonna do that. Wide open like that. There's no way he doesn't run there.
Blitz coming there. Posick gets whipped. I'm no idea what to do. At a loss for words. At a loss for plays.
Bo. Oh man, to be a fly on the wall for the conversation between the members of Nagy Nation and Madden devs.
Complete to Cooper, but not nearly enough for the 17 yards for the first down. So we'll lick our wounds. We might be a Week 13 bye. I'll have to go back. We'll check after this game. If you would like to vote on the other games of the week, of course, you can do that only on our Discord channel using the invite link that is in the description of this or any of our other videos. You can also find out in advance of when the sims happen and then chat with us between sims as well. We still have our NFC game of the week for Week 12 yet to do. Right now, the leading vote getter on that one is the New Orleans Saints at the New York Giants. So maybe just people wanting to see maybe just some people wanting to see the Giants. I think we've seen the Giants all year.
I think it was the Saints. The Saints was the getter on that one.
Yeah, it's the Saints at the Giants. Oh, you think people just want to see the Saints?
Well, yeah, because it was requested in our chat. Didn't see 504 asked for his Saints?
Oh.
Yeah,
I missed that one. I know
504 asked for
their love.
Yeah, that's right. 504 asked for some votes on the Giants Saints games, and he got it.
There you go.
So
we are nothing if not men of the people.
That's right. That's right. And our Nagy Nation is also as they came through for 504. So I'm sure he appreciates that, and that'll be the game that we'll be bringing to you. But I will be taking a sabbatical here for a little while off of the channel, as I will be in Seattle, so away from my rig. So I'll be on the chat when I can, but I will not be on the call probably. Really for the next 2 weeks. I'll be getting back on the 6th of August.
Watson continuing to try to complete passes here. Under 3.5 to go. Another one over the middle to the Chief. Trying to find plays to free up some space. But it's been tough here today.
That's a good question, Wendell. Somewhere between 1,060 and 1,070. I'm not entirely sure because the only way I'd be able to look right now would break us out of the stream, the full screen for the stream.
I think we're 63.
Yeah, so I'm not going to look, but I'll trust Phil's word on 1,063.
That's what it was earlier today, at least. I'll say that.
Fair enough. Probably is.
Marquise Goodwin's sighting there, fired over the middle, complete for the Browns. And this will take us down to the 2-minute warning. John, it's Darnold with Trey Lance on your practice squad, because I usually just try to keep 2 QBs on each team to try to allow for more, playmakers and things like that. This one's going to be tipped and picked again by Fred Warner.
Too many, obviously, but is that 4 or 5?
I think that's number 5.
Yeah.
So we had 5 picks not in coach mode. Now we've got 5 picks in coach mode. So I don't know what the hell to do, guys. Really nice play by... Well, it's just a way to keep him from being a free agent that another team would try to pick up.
Right.
Because I have it turned on so that teams can't steal from other teams' practice squads, since I technically run all of the 32 rosters. So, Purdy again, another option keeper, and the Browns fall for it once again. He's up, ball's on the ground though. Was he on the ground?
I was going to say I'd be interested to see if he was down. But yeah, it's interesting. Even though we've got control of all the rosters, the rosters will still self-dictate. Like, if you don't have at least this many tight ends or at least this many, fill in the blank for a position, they have an expectation for how many must be on a roster. So they'll actually go out and just fill that in. We've seen sometimes with Brady, when Brady was still in the game but not retired, but was retired or not retired. But anyway, so he'll just randomly show up on a team where it was all
of a sudden he was like the quarterback of the Eagles or something. Right. What in the world?
Yeah, so it does, even though we technically control all the rosters and are the GM for the entire league of all the different teams, it still does some stuff behind the scenes that we don't have any control over. That then gets a little bit odd when you're like, well, wait a second, this superstar or this individual is definitely not supposed to be on that team.
Correct. 3rd and 6 here now after the deflection. Watson chucking it deep, and he's got a first down to Amari Cooper. It was funny, they were going to review that, and then for some reason when it switched over to me, your turn to run a play, it wouldn't go back. So I think we've got the benefit of the doubt on that challenge. Our first of the day.
Hey, something
first benefit of the day.
Outside of the beginning of the game was going pretty well for us, but since then it's been very downhill. Very steep drop-off.
Well, considering Isaiah Oliver, who's like the 3rd-string cornerback, has more touchdowns than the Browns' entire team.
Mm-hmm. That probably should tell you enough about the way this game has gone.
Yeah. Yup. Let's see if we can punch a morale touchdown in here.
Watson has thrown 3 touchdowns in this game, just 2 to the wrong team.
Stop it. But yeah, Mason is exactly right though. 10 picks in 2 games. He has 3 the entire rest of the season. Just absolutely mind-numbing.
Yes, indeed.
And across the middle to Donovan Peoples-Jones for a touchdown. Like 2 guys running the same route.
Yep, we've seen a lot of that. We talked about that here on the channel a number of times now, but in recent memory we've been talking about that. Brought it out in either the previous game or the game before that with 2 guys in the same spot. Just happens far too often, and you could blame it on undisciplined play, but realistically, they're just not drawn up that way. That's either a huge mental mistake that Madden is incorporating into the game somehow, but it happens too often for you not to think that it's Madden that just really has some weird, glitchy things that are just not right. That's one of them.
Take a knee and mercifully put us out of our misery here. Kyle Shanahan comes back home of sorts and lays the wood on Kevin Stefanski and the Browns here today, 48-19. Again, this thing was 14-12 and just spun off the rails. Again, folks, right now it's the lesser of two evils, and today it was still pretty damn evil.
Yep. And it didn't even take all that many horrible stand-in-place sacks. It was just, I don't know what was going on with his throwing today, but he just was not feeling it clearly. A whole lot of interceptions resulted, and the Browns got absolutely shellacked in this one.
Purdy 21-29, 205, 2 touchdowns, just the one interception to JOK in the drive after the safety when the Browns had some momentum. McCaffrey 17-69, he had a touchdown. Purdy 8 for 56, he had a touchdown. Debo with 6 carries, Ray McLeod with 2 carries. Debo with 6 catches, 70 yards, 5 for Kittle and a touchdown, 5 for McLeod, 3 for Ayuk and a touchdown, 2 for Run CMC in this one. How about Fred Warner? 18 tackles, 16 for Dre Greenlaw. Those are your 2 linebackers, of course. Odom with 10 sacks today, 3.5 for Nick Bosa, 1.5 for Kinlaw, 1 for Cleveland Farrell. The 2 picks. How about 152 yards of interception return for Isaiah Oliver? Of course, both those went to the end zone. Ambry Thomas, Greenlaw, and for Warner. So 2 linebackers with picks as well. For the Browns, Deshaun Watson, 43 of 58. Of course, had to throw the ball pretty much the majority of the fourth quarter. And third quarter, 381, still 74% completions, the 2 touchdowns, the 5 interceptions. No bueno. Nick Chubb today, 21 for 60. He had a hard time getting going. Watson with 2 for 9. Elijah Moore, 12 catches for 80 yards, 11 for David Njoku and 94 yards and a touchdown, 8 for Chubb as a dump off. Cooper with 5 for Donovan Peoples-Jones as well. Goodwin, Grant also contributed catches in this one. Browns defense, Anthony Walker Jr. with 11 tackles, 10 for Delpit. Here's a stat, I don't think it's happened all season for our Sims. 0 sacks for the Demolition Dogs here today, and JOK had his 4-yard interception as well. Kid, anything else to wrap this one up?
Well, I mean, a lot of things that we're telling about that game. The 0 sacks is a stat I hadn't been paying attention to, but that, I mean, really tells you a lot. I mean, that's a big generation of how the Browns in general have had success. And that's something you expect the Browns to have, kind of be a feather in their cap for the season this year with what you expect out of that D-line, particularly the edge position, Tomlinson, and then also Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett kind of all working in tandem, along with some of those other guys they brought in like Obo to get the job done. So you certainly think that there's a lot to like there. Certainly have to feel that a lot of this game really went down after Deshaun started to stumble and he just could not find his footing and really wind out of his sails and out of the Browns in general sails, and we end up with a ugly loss to wind up at a 6-6 record here after a deflating game against the San Francisco 49ers.
And a Week 13 bye to sit and stew about it. So we will not see the Browns for a bit here, which maybe is a good thing for them to sit around and lick some potential wounds. So there's the remainder of the Week 12 schedule. Again, right now the Saints at Giants is the leading vote getter. You can vote on our Discord channel. We do appreciate everybody being on. It's always fun to hang out with you. Just more fun when the game isn't quite so gross. It feels like we never ever have Browns blowout wins, but we have Browns blowout losses. Even a close game with a close loss would have been more fun than this was. So
I mean, we do occasionally. I mean, the glitch game was a blowout, to be fair. It was like 59-14 or something. 59-14.
That's true. I do remember. That is fair. That is fair. So, all right, guys, we really appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next Sims. Yeah, of course you did. You're a 49er fan, John. Appreciate you guys being on. Join me probably tomorrow at some point for that NFC game of the week, and then we'll get into Week 13 at the end of this week. So for Kid out on the left coast, Kid, have a safe trip north. Drive safe, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the chat. And Phil here at Central Ohio, we are Nagy on Sports, guys. Have a great rest of your evening. Again, thanks so much for being a part of it. We'll see you on the next one. Today we will say go 49ers. And as always,
Go Browns!